What's up, everybody? Today's video is remembering Richard Saurin, and I'm going to try to get through this video without bawling all over my reverse hyper. We are coming up on the 1-year anniversary of Richard's passing, and in talking with Zach Mullins, he made the thumbnail for this video today, and I really appreciate it. He did an amazing job. Zach recently put out a video on his Grip Show channel that was about the blob, and luckily he had the opportunity to interview Richard in one of his shows last year, and Richard talked about the blob. If you're not familiar with Richard Saurin, he's one of the biggest pioneers of grip strength training, especially along the lines of grip challenges. And he's the person that came up with the blob. Richard tells the story of the blob in the foreword to my ebook, Lift the Blob, Even If You Have Small Hands. And the way it happened was he was basically presented with broken dumbbells, and he pinch gripped them one by one until he got to the half 100, which he could not lift, and he had to train in order to do so. And I've always found that to be very inspiring and very compelling, that he would identify something that was at first out of reach and then challenge himself to accomplish the lifting of that feat item, and he called it the blob. I encourage you to look into more on Richard Saurin and his company Saurin. I encourage you to listen to that interview with Richard on the Grip Show, and to check out the blob special episode about that was all about the blob. So we're coming up, like I said, on the year anniversary. I found out that Richard passed away when I woke up for day 2 of the North American Grip Sport Championship last year in when I was in Ottawa, Canada. And that was a terrible shock to me, because every year the Saurin crew holds a giant gathering, which has gone from just like a cookout and a day of just physical tests of strength and endurance to an all-out strength and conditioning symposium. And every year it's held in May, right around Richard's birthday, and I miss it every year because generally I have a competition in June. And last year the United States Championship took place in April, and then the North American Championship took place in June. And when I woke up and Luke told me that news, it was crushing to me, because once again I had missed the gathering at Saurin Summer Strong. So this is one of those things where I really have a lot of regret, because Richard was one of my biggest inspirations, one of my mentors, and really like a second father figure to me. And I don't have a lot of those. My dad's still alive. I love him. I spend as much time with him as I can, but I don't have a lot of other people that influenced me the way that Richard did. So that's hard for me sometimes, and I think about Richard a lot. My girlfriend and I were when we were still getting to know each other on a more personal level, we were sending each other, our songs, and I talked about my love for Edgar Allan Poe, and she and I recently went to a performance where 4 dudes did one story or poem by Edgar Allan Poe, and it was a phenomenal night. I am so glad that I went. But when we were still getting to know each other, I talked to her about Edgar Allan Poe and some of the stories that I liked, the performances that are online by Vincent Price, and I asked her what her favorite Edgar Allan Poe content was, and she sent me a poem called A Dream Within a Dream. And there's a reading of A Dream Within a Dream that I'll put in the description box, because I'm going to try to read this poem and I'm not going to be able to do it justice. So, A Dream Within a Dream. And I'm going to tell you this. The first time I had never heard of this poem before, which I thought I had read or heard all of Poe's work, essentially. But obviously I haven't, because this one escaped me. And I don't know, it just makes me think of Richard. Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting from you now, thus much let me avow. You are not wrong who deem that my days have been a dream. Yet if hope has flown away, in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, is it therefore less gone? All that we see or seen is but a dream within a dream. And this is the hard part. I stand amid the roar of a surf-tormented shore, and I hold within my hand grains of the golden sand. How few, yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep, while I weep. Oh God, can I not grasp them with a tighter clasp? Oh God, can I not grasp them with a tighter clasp? Oh God, can I not save one from the pitiless wave? Is all that we see or seen but a dream within a dream? Now, if you go on YouTube, you'll see all kinds of people put their thoughts out about what this poem means, and what this poem, the way this hits me is, first off, when that part hits about grains of the golden sand, how few yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep. I mean, that's through my fingers. That's grip, man. Richard was a grip pioneer. And imagine trying to hold sand in your hand as water rushes through your fingers and peels that sand right through the cracks, and nothing you can do will allow you to hold on to that sand. And in many ways, grip training is like that. No matter what you do, you are not able to maintain a grip on the blob that you're trying to lift or whatever the challenge item happens to be. But even more than that, the people that you want in your life, no matter how hard you try, end up leaving. And especially when they pass away, and there's nothing that you can do about it. You have to face the fact that all you have left is memories. So you have to do whatever you can to preserve those memories. And then those memories, because they're mental, they're like dreams, and you have to keep hold of them in your mind and in your heart. And I will always have a place for Richard in my heart. And unfortunately, you never know when the last time is going to be that you see a person that you care about tremendously. And eventually those people that we love, we adore, we admire, will slip away from our grip, and we will not have them anymore. That's what this poem does to me. I've listened to this poem since probably March, probably 50 times, especially the way the creator reads it. Like I said, I'll put the link in the description box below. But I guess the lesson to be learned is that what I need to do is make the most of every moment that I can with the people that I love, respect, and admire, because eventually I'm not going to have any more chances to do so. And I really hope that I was able to convey my respect and admiration to Richard while he was alive, because he had a tremendous effect on me, a tremendous impact, and I have absolutely no idea where my life would be right now if it weren't for the inspiration that I took from Richard in pursuing a lift of the blob, which no one else probably ever would have tried to do. And he really only did it because of certain circumstances where he was cleaning up broken dumbbells, and getting them out of the way. So thanks for sharing a few minutes with me today. The contest the coming weekend is probably going to be tough. The U.S. Championship is May 31st, which ends up being like a day before he passed last year. So it's going to be tough, but gotta forge ahead. So I hope this video kind of pushes you to find out more about Richard and check out the poem. And if you have any thoughts, I welcome them in the comment section. And I hope just all the respect in the world to Richard Sorin, who was a man who had a great impact on my life. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.